Hello, good evening, and welcome to UPfront. This evening, the minority in Ghana's parliament is demanding a massive reduction in the recent hike in fuel prices, insisting that the taxes on this particular commodity is way too much and ought to be reduced immediately. After the break, I'll tell you who my guest is from the Ghana's parliament who represents the minority on this show today. You welcome back. This is UPfront. Today, the minority in Ghana's parliament is insisting that the taxes on Ghana's fuel ought to be reduced. This is following a recent hike in the price, pushing it to beyond 5 cedi, making many complain about compounding the already worsening economic conditions of many of people in this country. We would ask the questions you are interested in and probe the request of Ghana's minority pretty much soon on this network. But first, my guest today is the spokesperson of the minority in Ghana. He speaks for them in Parliament. He's also a member of Parliament for Sagnarigu. The Honorable ABF Hussein, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
I hope you're
honored to be here. Like Raymond, like you rightly pointed out, nobody in Ghana can be doing well today. There's so much unprecedented hardship that everybody is crying. Raymond, I'm crying, you are crying, farmers are crying, doctors are crying.
You're able to keep body and soul together. You represent.
By the grace of Allah Almighty, but I'm telling you that many of our competitors outside there are struggling barely to survive. Many across the country.
We'll continue this conversation, which is pretty much important. Why do you think we are where we are?
I just think for the lack of vision, proper vision of this country, and also some kind of vindictive politics we've practiced over the years.
Really?
Yes. Where we don't seem to function as a homogeneous entity of people bound by their common destiny, and they need to work together to ensure that there's supreme national interest raised over the parochial interests of individuals.
Okay, now let's start it. Today there was a press conference. Your colleague who actually speaks for you on energy is the one that addressed it, but you speak for the minority on everything.
Yes.
Now, exactly what are the demands of the minority in connection with these recent, what they call the fuel hikes?
Raymond, I'm sure you can appreciate the fact that Ghanaians have lost count since this government assumed the reins of power in January 2017. About the number of times fuel prices have gone up. Cumulatively, today it's over 20% since this government came. And you realize that, Raymond, it has inflicted incalculable damage. In fact, it has exacted its toll on the transport industry in particular.
Really?
Yes. Raymond, let me just give you the bit of it. You remember in the run-up to the 2016 elections, there was a group called Drivers for Change, who campaigned for Nana Akufo-Addo, then candidate Nana Akufo-Addo, and the MPP. Indeed, they contributed monies. At that time,
they say they contributed.
No, but if the landlord speaks eloquently of his house, who is the caretaker to contradict what he says?
Because there is no evidence that this.
Yeah, because they contributed, and they say they contributed their monies.
That's the point I wanted you to
exactly.
make.
It's their monies.
Yes. But when you say they contributed, it suggests that you have independently
They indicated they contributed money. Just like the Abosoka people say, they gave the President Nana Akufo-Addo 2 billion Ghana cedis at that time.
I get your
and today their businesses are collapsing. So it's the same thing.
I get your point.
They contributed monies and joined physically in the campaign for change. It was driven on the back of the plethora of many empty promises that the MPP made, including that on fuel. Raymond, you remember in those times, President Nana Akufo-Addo, then candidate Nana Akufo-Addo, and his running mate, Dr. Bawumia, indicated that President Mahama was insensitive when they were charging a gallon of petrol for about 14 Ghana cedis. At that time, they said it was too much and the President Mahama was insensitive and the NDC government had no interest of the good people of this country at heart. And that they are set out deliberately to collapse the businesses of those who were in the transport sector. You remember that very well.
Yes,
and promise the people that when they come to power, if President Nana Akufo-Addo is voted for, immediately fuel prices were going to go down And within the year, they were going to be so comfortable that they will make a lot of money, and a lot of money will be in their pockets.
They made those specific promises.
Yes, specific promises.
Reduction.
That is what entice all these other drivers, truck drivers, taxi drivers, and all those other category of people in the transport sector to rally behind the MPP. They did that. Raymond,
I see.
what do we have to contend with today? The price of petrol, diesel, now is almost approaching 23 Ghana cedis. It's now gone. The price of petrol in Ghana is one of the highest in the world. It's now more than $1 per liter. More than, because you have diesel is 5.18. Petrol 5.14 today.
Okay.
Far more than the dollar today. This is a government which almost incriminated a gallon of petrol which was sold at 14 Ghana cedis, and said the government was running a criminal enterprise, very insensitive to the plight of the good people of this country. 1.5 years, 18 months. We are now in September.
I want us to look at this more important.
This government is now under the watch of this government. Petrol and diesel are being sold for almost 23 Ghana cedis a gallon.
But you know the driving factors, don't you know?
Oh, Raymond, have the driving factors suddenly just come in?
No, they are driving factors.
At the time that they indicated that President Mahama was insensitive, was it President Mahama who was charging fuel prices, who was in charge of ensuring that fuel prices were sold at this level? And those external factors that we are talking about, which we are seeking to invoke now, they did not exist. Ghana was an island entire of itself and was insulated from these influences from abroad.
But you know that
so you see, this is
even
the
the
hypocrisy.
world crude price currently is way higher than when John Dramani Mahama was president. You know that for a fact.
I can tell you for a fact that, Raymond, the prices of crude was more than what it was under President Mahama. At a point, it went over 100, or closer to $100 per barrel. This government has not faced any. We are hovering around the $70 per barrel. What has contributed as a result of the incompetence of this government is the fact that the cedi is depreciating, is in a free fall. It's falling like a coconut, newly liberated from a tree. And that is why it is exacting a lot of this. If you see any time the pricing window comes up, one of the first things they cite is the depreciating cedi.
Yeah, that's true.
Of course,
that's not.
So that is squarely at the doors of government.
But that's factual.
Government has to manage monetary policy. They may want to throw it at the bank. The Bank of Ghana is a subset of government. Okay? And it's directly under the finance ministry and government.
Independent of government.
No, it is not.
The Bank of Ghana, the Banking Act is pretty clear.
I am saying that part of it even could be fiscal policies, which are attributed to government, and some monetary policies attributable to government.
Okay, so specific.
Let me ask you, Raymond, if today, for instance, the dollar was 2 cedis, you think government will not take credit for it? They will say it's the Bank of Ghana. The government would have been the first to take credit.
No, but to be fair, I'm not saying that the Bank of Ghana has no role to play.
Yes.
Monetary policy is basically the responsibility of the Bank of Ghana.
Yes, in theory.
And I also agree with you. Fiscal policy is basically the responsibility
of the finance ministry
and
government. So
and that is not in doubt.
And there's an intermingling of those factors.
But
to produce a certain exchange rate regime.
I get your point.
Yes.
But as has been explained to you and many in this country, the current problems with the cedi are partly due to external pressures, the strengthening of the dollar, and also other factors that this government cannot really control.
Raymond, is it not intriguing that Dr. Bawumia, who led the charge for the MPP in the run-up to the 2016 elections, told all Ghanaians that when the MPP assumes the reins of government under President Nana, they were going to arrest the depreciation of the cedi. This is a matter of public record.
Yeah.
Okay? And not even long ago, at the 100 days, when the MPP was celebrating its 100 days, and even not too long ago, Dr. Bawumia indicated that the cedi had been arrested and put in jail and under lock and key, and that the key had been given to the IGP. I'm sure you can remember that.
Was that in doubt?
That is what he said.
Yes.
So if that cedi had been arrested at that level, 4 point what? Since then, look at how the cedi has plummeted. Has seen a drastic fall since his pronouncement. Indeed, even before he left the police station, the cedi was speeding in front of him. It had broken jail long before even Dr. Bawumia even left the police headquarters. So it is clear that the government currently is throwing its hands in the air. It has no answer to what is happening today. Because like I said, it is bereft of a long-term vision for making this country productive. Raymond, a country that is not productive cannot, as it were, guarantee the strength of its currency. I've always said it.
This applies to all governments.
Let me come.
To be fair.
There are certain things of vision from one government to other that makes it different.
Yeah, let me come to this point.
And I'm just
you keep insisting. And are you disputing the claim that is predominantly external factors that are making the current city situation what you find?
Raymond, that is why we are saying that when the MPP was making those criticisms of the NDC,
yeah,
was it oblivious of the fact that those external factors existed?
No, but the external factors, they are not like I can predict them tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah, I'm saying that, but
we in Ghana cannot predict them.
But you factor them in when you are aware that they have an influence on your currency. And at the time that they were criticizing the NDC and proposing solutions that as for them when they come, oblivious of the external factors, which will affect them, the CD will be brought under control and the value would appreciate. That's what they said. May
I bring to your attention that even in the current state, the Ghanaian cities seem to have weathered the storm from these external factors in a much more consistent and robust way than others in the emerging market space. Are you aware?
I don't think so.
Give me an example of a country in the emerging market space that is not being pushed in the right direction.
I'm just saying you should rather give me the example of a currency
Argentina.
That has been so decimated like Ghana's currency. You see?
No, hold on.
Yes, as a result of these general factors we are talking about.
Yes.
Those other areas, the only one I can foresee, for instance, is Venezuela. And it is because of United States sanctions.
United States the sanctions rather.
No, it's United States direct sanctions. See what the United States is doing to Venezuela.
No.
They are doing everything possible to bring Venezuela's currency to nothing. And it's an open secret. Everybody knows that. But not to the extent that the factors that affect us
here. The Argentinian peso,
yes,
actually within the same period of time has depreciated for more than 54%. Are you aware?
Raymond.
Again, I stress the emerging market space.
Yes.
And I'm making one simple reference to the Argentinian peso.
Raymond, I just told you that was the MPP, Dr. Bawumia, and President Nana Akufo-Addo, then candidate Nana Akufo-Addo, when they were making these lofty promises to Ghanaians, were they oblivious of the external factors?
But you just... the
elected who voted for them, who queued in the sun to vote for them, on the strength of the promise that they were coming to do this, because they had promised us that under their watch, they will make sure, heaven and hell, to make sure that the currency was righted.
I get your point.
Were they oblivious of these external factors?
Our conversation basically on the claim that government insists within the emerging market space,
yes,
the CD seem to have weathered the storm as the rate of depreciation is actually far more better than others in that particular space.
It's an incredible argument to make. Raymond,
why do you think so? But it's factual, right?
When the house has fallen, do you still ask whether the roof is still standing?
This is CD. I mean, to be clear,
the thing has collapsed. You are now telling us that you have done better than who? Which done better than who? What matters for the Ghanaian people?
I made reference to
Raymond, the bottom line for Ghanaians is that you gave them a solemn promise that when you assume the reins of power, you are going to give them a currency that is stronger than what you took over from your predecessor. That is the baseline.
Okay.
So let's look at the baseline. Is the currency today, is the CD today stronger than when President Mahama was in office?
Isn't it?
Is it stronger?
Is it not?
From 4 CDs, today what are we having?
Oh, that's how you measure it.
Exactly.
No,
it has deteriorated more than 20% since this government assumed the reins of power in less than 2 years. I was just even looking at a tweet by my chairman on the Committee on Communications, Honorable Kennedy Japan, and he said, look, people should stop that because they are angering business people.
Okay.
Do you know how many businesses have collapsed as a result of the appreciation?
Let me create your...
Almost 1 CD appreciation of the CD. Depreciation of the CD.
Let me create your indulgence. Give me a second. I'll take a break. When I return, we'll continue this conversation. It's still on Upfront here. You're welcome back. This is Upfront. We're having a conversation on the press conference organized by the minority in Ghana's parliament demanding immediately some reduction in the particular taxes of fuel. they are targeting specific ones, and we sure should be able to let you know much of the detail of that. My guest today is the spokesperson of the minority on virtually all important issues in the Republic of Ghana, the Honorable A.B.A. Fuseni. And we are actually in the course of getting to appreciate exactly what are the concerns of these people. What we've been discussing so far is getting to know how they appreciate the issues, what they think is the main problem, and how these problems ought to be fixed with their timelines and the other engagements that they gave so far. Honorable, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
So we were discussing at the point we took the break that there are many important issues surrounding how do you think this problem can be fixed. Yeah. But first and foremost, we're trying to diagnose what really is the problem here. We talked about the rate of depreciation, and you insist that the problem is not really to do with external factors.
I just said, for instance, that I did not say there are no problems with the external factors. They do have an influence. But I was just pointing at them on that at the time that the MPP was in opposition, led by President Nana Addo and Dr. Bawumia, were they oblivious of the external factors when they said that so moto on their own, they could come and out of competence fix the problem without resort to external factors?
But if you take the relative stability of the city, it's far better than when the NDC was in government.
Relative. Today, go and ask, if you say that to businessmen, I'm sorry, anybody who said that to the businessmen, if you are not fortunate, they will lynch you.
I mean,
look,
let's get it.
Look, Raymond, if you transcend from a smaller rate of depreciation to a higher rate, the cost to the business is so monumental. When you are moving from 2 to 3, and from 3 to 4, 4 to 5, the higher you go, the more costly it becomes for business people. So today, can you quantify, Raymond, when the exchange rate was 4 cedis to $1 under the NDC, to today 5 cedis plus to $1? Can you see how it will basically erode the capital base of many business entities? Today, go to Abosokai, but the people who said they contributed 2 billion.
And more
to Nana Addo to do the campaign.
So, forgive me.
They are telling you today that a lot of them, their businesses have been ruined. And more because of the escalating nature of the
more effective way of doing this comparison.
Yes.
Is to first and foremost tell us in 2012, 2013, 14, 15, and even 2016.
Yes.
What were the rates of depreciation within the same period that this government has been in office?
That is why I just told you that.
The Honorable.
You may do all the propaganda with the figures about the rates and others. The bottom line, Raymond, the bottom line for the businessman and the good people of this country is that the currency is deteriorating at a level where it is eroding their basis and their capital.
Again.
So irrespective of whatever propaganda you may want to do with the percentages,
they will be minded.
Let me just give you an example.
They will clearly be minded by the fact that they are minded that in the years that you are comparing to, when the NDC was in government, when John Dramani Mahama was the president of this republic, the rate of depreciation was way higher than what is currently the case.
I'm just giving you a simple calculation. That even by their calculation, they will tell you that it has depreciated by 6%. And that figure is probably false.
Why?
Look, go and do the calculation. Even granted, without admitting, the CD was 4 CDs or 4.10 when the NDC left office. And today it's 5.10 or 5.12. Do the calculation. Do the difference. That is about 1 CD over the current rate times 100. You get almost about 20% depreciation. 20%. And 20% depreciation is a significant amount, Raymond.
Is that how you do the comparison?
No, you do that.
That's not how you do the comparison.
Multiply the difference, take the difference, multiply it by the current existing rate, and then multiply by 100 times 100. You get 20%.
Honorable,
in fact, that was even the calculation Honorable Kennedy Japan did for even some of the MP people who were doubting it. And he told them.
Kennedy Japan is not the standard.
No, I'm just giving you an example. That even that is what he himself, he's not an NDC man.
In fact, he's not a criteria for determining.
No, it's not a criteria, but me and you can work. We can work at them. We are not as deficient in mathematics. But you've not shown me
any evidence that suggests that.
I'm just saying that do the mathematics.
Yes.
Take it from where the NDC left off. Strike out the difference times today's rate, multiply it by 100.
But sorry, how do you do
over that?
How do you do rates over that long period of time?
I'm just.
If you are doing year by year, I would agree.
Raymond,
but I've not seen anybody.
The bottom line is that the MPP, which promised us, Nana Addo government, which promised us that when they come, they will put a halt and a permanent end to the sliding of the CD against the dollar. Okay?
I get you.
Yeah, I'm coming. That promise they made to us. Where was the CD at that time? Where is the CD now?
I thought
that is what Ghanaians are interested in. Ghanaians are not interested in you coming and saying that. So somebody, let us assume without admitting.
Yeah.
The NDC's exchange rate was bad.
Rate of exchange.
Yes, it was bad under the NDC.
Again, you say that.
So when you come to power,
I'm sorry, but you're not talking about real values. You're telling me about exchange rate,
yes.
And yet you are insisting that we should use the real values in this.
No, I'm just saying that I'm talking of the extent of the deterioration, and I'm telling you that.
Okay, Honorable, give me a second. How would you calculate today's exchange rate?
Exchange rate depreciation.
Yes.
I'm saying that I'm calculating it from the time the MPP took over. That's what I'm interested in. What was the value of the CD to the dollar at that time?
Sorry, I'm asking, how would you calculate the exchange rate today? Accurate rate of depreciation.
That is why I'm just telling you, Raymond. Yeah. We are making an argument about a government.
You don't know how to calculate the rate of depreciation.
Let me learn, Raymond.
No, my problem is that it looks like we are confused as to which way should be the best way in determining this. No, I am insisting that the rate of depreciation has a formula, established formula. It's not in doubt. Politicians may play with it, but there's an established formula.
I am saying that you may play politics with all the percentages and others. The bottom line for Ghanaians and especially the business community is that the current level of depreciation of the CD is totally collapsing their businesses.
What rate was it in 2008?
And I can tell you, look, even as the Abosoka people say, even under President Mahama, with the so-called depreciation of the CD, they were still doing good business.
Really?
Go and ask them.
So the problem is not
I'm sure that Joy FM has a very
yes.
ingenious way of doing investigative journalism.
So the problem is really
so
not
you
the
go and
CD.
talk to them.
They
will tell you that even in spite of that period where the depreciation took place, they were still able to do business, make profit, and be able to look after their families.
Simply, because of this quandary as to whether or not the rate of depreciation was better under the MPP compared to that of the NDC, that is why I wanted you to specifically give me the figures. But if you want us to move beyond the figures, I agree.
Yes, I'm just telling you that, Raymond,
yes.
The sweetness of a pudding is not the aroma it emits. It's in the actual eating.
I get your point.
Exactly.
That's why.
So you may dance around this. It's just like today, they are telling us that Moody's, Standards and Poor's have given Ghana a B rating. So everything is okay. Incredible.
No, nobody
Look
has
at
said
the factors on the
okay.
ground.
Sorry. Nobody has said
that is the impression. They were gloating.
No, sorry. But
government communicators and government were gloating that Standards and Poor's had graded Ghana B.
But that's an improvement, right?
Which improvement on what?
Your credit.
Raymond, does it reflect on the ground? This is at the time.
Credit worthiness.
This is at the time when the banking sector is almost in disarray.
Sorry, let's not give the wrong impression to people out there.
Which people are there?
Who may not understand credit
under their watch.
Sorry.
Under the watch of this government, 7 banks have collapsed.
You cannot allude that having an improvement in credit worthiness have no impact on the economy.
Wait a second. I'm just saying, let's look at the indices and let's look at the facts.
I'm saying
what are the facts on the ground? Let's look at inflation. Sorry. Inflation is going up.
Really?
Are you aware? Yes, the last this is, figures released by the Statistical Service.
Oh, just
the last one. Yes, inflation had gone up.
Slight improvement.
Inflation had gone up.
You see, you can't use that as
your exchange rate is plummeting.
The inflation under the John Dramani Mahama government was worse.
Your deficit. The government inability to raise revenue. There's a huge revenue gap.
Really? Deficit today?
The last time the finance
compared
minister,
to 2016.
the last time the finance minister came to parliament,
yes,
for the mid-year review, he alluded to the fact that revenue shortfall was still in a huge hole.
Let's take it one by one.
First, they couldn't close.
You mentioned inflation.
Yes.
This inflation figure of 9.9 is better than what was the case in 2016. Are you aware?
Raymond,
it was 15.4 in end year 2016.
Do you know? That's why I told you that. Leave all these figures because
but you raise the figures.
No, I'm just telling you about this.
Who brought in inflation?
No, I'm just telling you about these figures they put up. Many of the figures even NPP puts up. I am telling you, take it with a pinch of salt.
Really?
Let me tell you. For instance, you are aware of how even Dr. Bawumia calculated his inflation, even with cement bags.
No, sorry. That was pre-2016.
I'm just so those are the same people.
Clearly, no.
Those are the same people.
Inflation is not determined by the vice president.
I'm just giving you an idea.
The honorable inflation is not determined by the vice president.
We have established that even inflation
the vice
is going up.
president is not a statistical service.
I've not said that.
Yes.
I've just said that even inflation that they are touting is going up.
Way better than your own.
It's going up. That is a fact. And I just indicated to you. I was taking macro economic indicators, and I said inflation.
Yes.
The cost of living is going up.
How do you determine cost of living?
Today, you just go round.
Sorry, how do you determine cost of living?
Oh, they can do market surveys.
Is it not inflation?
Yes, I'm telling you.
That's the consumer price
but
index.
inflation is going up.
Okay, so
So if the inflation is going up, the cost of living is going up.
no, that's slight improvement.
Look, slight increase or no increase, it's an increase. And I'm telling you that it's going up. Raymond, we are in Accra here.
Again.
Do you know that today, Kenke, which is the staple, has caught Koshoko? Kenke is shrinking. A bag of maize, which used to sell even under President Mama for 70 Ghana cedis. Today they are selling it for 160 Ghana cedis. Within this short period of time.
So why are you buying these things?
I'm telling you, Raymond, I'm a farmer. I farm maize.
Where?
In my constituency.
But the market prices differ. So why do you say that?
Market prices differ where?
Yes.
I am just telling you
In your
that
constituency.
if you go to Ababu market in Tamale, which was there, the last listen, I am telling you, people were buying a bag of maize 160, 170. When even the poultry farmers were complaining of the high prices of maize, what did government say? They said they had stocks of maize at cheaper, and the poultry farmers told them, show us where we can get the maize. Up to the time we talk, they can't show them where that maize is. So Raymond, there is hardship as a result of the incompetence of this government. When they had created in the minds of Ghanaians that they had the magic wand to wave so that this country will flow of milk or honey, and Ghanaians will say goodbye to poverty and suffering. That is what they told the good people of this country. Today, there's unprecedented level of suffering and misery.
So
go around the country. And Raymond, what is amazing? You have
said is that
Raymond, what is amazing?
Yes.
Is today go and read the preface to the manifesto of the 2016 MPP.
What's the point? President
Nanado, then candidate Nanado, said he had gone across the country and seen suffering.
Yes,
and that when Ghanaians vote for him, he is coming to operate a government of austerity and sacrifice. A government that will change the lives of Ghanaians for the better in 18 months.
He says so.
Yeah, I even have
18 months.
Yeah,
18 months.
Raymond, I can show it to you. That
I have a copy of the manifesto myself. That's not in doubt.
A tweet by an MPP person, A+. A+ is not an NDC man.
Yes, but why does it matter?
He indicated that he was part of the campaign and that they gave the good people of this country. He was present when Nanado said 18 months in November 2016. When he gave a period of 18 months to change the lives of Ghanaians for better. Today, Ghanaians' lives are worse than before.
The gentleman you made reference to is not the standard of determining MPP manifesto content.
He was part of the campaign of the MPP.
And I'm saying
so
that
if
you've never
if the mad fish comes to tell you that
18 months,
Raymond,
the MPP said,
if the mad fish comes to tell you that the crocodile has belly, who are you to deny that?
Sorry, but in this case,
look,
you are making reference to documentary
evidence. I am saying that he was part of some of the things were documentary, some were things they said on the campaign platform.
So this one,
that one constitutes the totality of the promises.
Who said it on the campaign
that
platform?
President Nanado said, give me 18 months.
Where did he say this?
I will make Ghana better. He said it. He said it.
Where did he say
I am telling you that across the country where he went to campaign.
Which specific area?
In November, I can tell you that in November 2016. And Raymond, go
November
check.
2016, where? I want specifics
Raymond,
so that it's not difficult to
I'm saying that this was not said at one place. It was said at many rallies across the left and breadth of the country, including when Nanado came to address the people of Tamale at their regional rally.
Sorry, Tamale regional rally.
Yes, and so I'm telling you that he has said it on many occasions. And so it is noted. And I just refer you to somebody who is not an NDC person so that you think it is propaganda by the NDC. It is said by A+, who was opening the way, Nanebo. He was in front in the run-up to the campaign. Today he is saying it. That they promised the good people of this country within 18 months to make life better for them. Look at the sorry state in which the country is and the sorry state of life of many Ghanaians today. Today, the drivers for change who abandoned their vehicles and went to do the campaign for him. How much are they buying petrol? The Aboso kind people who contributed by their own ways.
You seem to make reference to these two alone. Is that the only thing that
I'm just...
You've not...
Kumasi magazine.
Sorry, you've not heard of free SHS in this country.
Free HSS.
Ghanaian children, many of them would have stayed home, would have not had any chance of going to any institution of higher learning, especially at the senior high school level. Yeah. Today, can walk to school. That's an achievement for you?
Raymond, let me say without any iota of contradiction that giving access to education through ensuring that affordability impediment, which prevented many people from going to accessing higher education, is a positive, it's a plus. And I will sit here and say that it is not a plus for the government. But Raymond, let's situate it. Even under President Mahama, before the NDC left power, all the fees of day students were absorbed. no day student pay fees as part of the process of ensuring the progressively free senior high school. And indeed, some boarding students, the government paid for substantial numbers of boarding students as part of the process of ensuring that progressively we made. But Raymond, that accepted that it has taken the burden off some parents. What was the promise of the MPP? They told every Ghanaian where they campaigned that they were going to make universally free senior high school to everybody, which meant that those in Form 1, Form 2, Form 3 were going to benefit from free higher.
They never said so. So this is
Raymond,
put to rest. This matter
Raymond, it's not been put to rest.
They
They themselves cannot deny that. That is the promise they made.
This matter is not.
They made the promise that anybody who was in senior high school will benefit from free education. That was it. And that is why you had a distinction between the NDC's progressive, where we said that we'll do it on a progressive basis, for instance, with us, to ensure that even those who can afford to pay will be allowed to pay.
Okay.
Recently, that is what the finance minister had to come back to, and he was lambasted by his own people when he said that the rush to implement the senior high school system was ill thought of.
He never said so.
He said it. He said that they have implemented it, and they have now come to realize. Raymond, let me say
yes, but
that they have come to realize that from the benefit of hindsight, that it would have been better for them to even allow those who have the capacity to pay.
Oh, no, I need to make this correction. The finance minister said clearly,
yes.
He never said that from benefit of hindsight, the thing was not thought through. No, he never said that.
He said what?
What he said was that it will be more important if parents who can pay are allowed to pay. If
what is the difference?
The difference in this case is that I said one is not thought through. And
why?
Because
if somebody tells you that from what I've seen now, it's better to let parents who can pay. From a position that you say all of them should have it. What, Raymond, any rational person out there, how will you interpret that?
Now, give me a couple of seconds.
It's clear.
I'll come back to you. I'm going to Facebook Live. I'm actually going to read to you some of the comments of the people there. And of course, I mean, some of this issue, some of the things happening now. This one said, the host is pretending as if he was not in Ghana when Mr. Try Me Too was campaigning. And the other one is saying that I am very biased. It's so clear that this MP is only there to do propaganda. This is from Ewoku Clarence, yes, and but not to educate us. This other comment says, anytime I see this man, what this one says, I should stop preventing the MP from speaking the truth. And it also says that things are very bad, and let the man say something about this incompetent government. That's what you're saying. And this one says propaganda has blinded the NDC to also talk about facts, and that's what's being said. Okay, now there's one which is talking about, it doesn't make sense, 19 months ago you were in power, you didn't reduce anything. Okay, and the other from Nana Kwame Ejenim Boateng, he said, did MPP come to increase any or reduce any NDC taxes? And this one is talking about bitterness is killing this man ever since their defeat. Well, another one says, answer the question. What this man is talking out of. Osu Dome says, Ghana is full of people. How can Ghana progress? And that's also another comment that I saw to bring to your attention. Okay, there's also a talk about taxes still. This one says, the NDC should keep quiet. It's from teacher Riamwase. The NDC should keep quiet because they have nothing new to offer Ghanaians. They will be in opposition forever. This this one says, you are known with proverbs in the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana, and it's from Akwasi Frimpong. And one from Ike Balfour says, I should tell you to calm down before you get a heart attack in the process of doing so. Yes.
Raymond, you know that this is how I speak. So
yeah, I get your point. Malik J. Gado says, it's so clear the MP is talking for the common Ghanaian, while me, Raymond, the host, is behaving like the government itself, which is defending the figures and statistics they don't want Ghanaians to accept in the SWAL government. And well, I read many of your messages,
because
but I'm coming back
this
to
point
you.
that he's making. Do you know when MPP was in opposition?
Yes.
They treated even figures that were coming from the statistics with a lot of suspicion.
The vice president had doubts.
They even said that they doubted all that. Today, the same statistical service that is churning out certificate, they are holding in the hallelujah, brought it to the highest in the heights.
Okay, now,
today, the same people. But Raymond, the bottom line, like I said,
you have made the
there
point.
is unprecedented level of suffering in this country. You go down to the ground and listen to people.
You've made this
people
point
are crying, mama, all over.
I want to understand why you are demanding a reduction in the taxes on the, what do you call it?
Raymond, I just referred you to even 2016.
Yeah.
When under President Mahama's watch, fuel prices were increased to closer to 14 Ghana cedis a gallon. Yeah. The MPP was all over. Telling Ghanaians that this is the most insensitive government they had ever seen.
Is the MPP the reason why you are asking for the reduction?
I'm just coming.
Yes.
So, Raymond, if 14 cedis was too high for Ghanaians, Raymond, what are you going to say about 23 Ghana cedis a gallon? So, if 14 cedis necessitates a reduction, what will you say about 23 cedis?
The taxes you are making reference to, who put them there?
I'm just telling you. You see, government throws out its hands and says that, they are helpless, they can't do anything. It is not true.
Hold on.
About 51% of the petroleum price build-up is taxes.
And this is taxes you put in place.
That is
the NDC government.
Parliament. It's not the NDC government that put it in place.
With the gates of respect, Parliament did not generate the taxes on
I am telling you that...
Parliament, sorry.
And Raymond, let me prefer an answer to you.
No. Government sent, and I was in Parliament at that time.
Yes.
The Energy Sector Levies Act. I was in Parliament. The minority even boycotted this particular. The MPP today.
I'm saying that
they boycotted.
I'm saying that Parliament passed it. You can situate it under the NDC government, but it was passed by Parliament.
With the greatest respect,
is it not Parliament?
The Parliament of
it's only Parliament that can give approval, that can approve of taxes, levies.
Was there a private members' bill? Was there a private members' bill?
That's what I'm saying. It's Parliament.
Sorry, was there a private members' bill?
No.
Who took these levies to Parliament?
Exactly, it's the executive. And I'm
it's
saying
the government of the then time.
Exactly.
The government that you are touting this achievement.
To situate it that it was under the government of President
So what's the difficulty in telling us that the NDC took it there?
So I am just telling you,
yes.
If this government comes, this government, since it came, there are policies and programs that the NDC, which they have abrogated.
So I am saying
so if they find out that these were obnoxious taxes, like they themselves said, that they were going to move nuisance taxes. Now, they have only not failed to remove some of the nuisance taxes. They have even transformed them into special purpose vehicles to go for loans.
I am just pointing out to you that this is what you guys do. MPP, NDC.
So I'm
only interested in.
Let me tell you the difference.
The politics of the
Let me tell you the difference.
But not really the change that ought to come with that.
And even under President Kufuor, when it happened under President Kufuor and President Mills, when the fuel prices jumped to over $100 a barrel, they were sensitive enough to the plight of Ghanaians and managed to tinker with the taxes, Raymond, to bring it down. This government is so insensitive and so greedy that it doesn't think of the interest and well-being of the Ghanaians by tinkering with the taxes.
Okay, but it's done
so they can do something with the taxes.
Are you aware that it's reduced some percentage of the tax price stabilization, for example?
We're saying that you take off, don't reduce. Because that doesn't solve. That one is like a pinprick on the back of an elephant. It doesn't contribute anything. It's a drop of water in the ocean.
Sorry, but
take that. Look, if you have a 17.5% something and you take 3 or 4%, what have you done? In situations such as we are, in very dire circumstances such as we are, you scrap some of the levies.
Which ones?
And when the situation gets better, then you can think of bringing some of them back.
Which specific ones do you want scrapped?
We have special petroleum taxes and others that are embodied in the.
There are many of these special petroleum taxes. Which ones?
I am telling you that I don't have the full array of taxes before me.
So why?
But I can tell you that.
Yes.
In our press conference, like I said today, I would have brought you the list of the decisions where we specifically mentioned areas where the government can tackle, can reduce those. There are some they can reduce the percentages. There are some they can take off outright, and they'll be able to bring down the price of
let me bring you some more messages
at the pumps.
Let me bring you some more messages because
they should do that.
I want them involved. This one, Nana Chase says, no matter what you say, we will never vote for the NDC. Ohimen Hughes says, Ghanaians hate anybody who speaks the truth. Abdul Razak Dauda says, NPP can't do nothing. And there's one from Inusa, Peace Caller. It says, NPP can't help Ghanaians because the promises have failed, and Baumia. Well, okay, so that's also there. Tim Kola says, Ghanaians want better life, but they are not ready to go through the hard times to achieve it. That's just 2 years, not 10 years. And that's
Raymond,
2 years, not 10 years.
Raymond,
really. Or 4 years.
Some of the promises are self-inflicting wounds they made on themselves. You tell Ghanaians 18 months. There were promises that they made. For instance, one constituency, $1 million.
Yeah.
You said every year, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020.
Yeah.
For every year, we are going to give each constituency $1 million.
Yes, it was budgeted
2017, nothing happened. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
That's true.
As we speak, nothing has happened in 2018.
You approved it in budget.
I am telling you that nothing has happened in the 275
You are
processes.
saying that the Special Development Initiative Ministry has not done anything at all.
I'm saying that I'm talking first and foremost of the 1 million per
Yes, that the ministry is supposed to do that.
Yes, I'm saying where is the money?
But you know that they've actually.
Where is the money? Recently, I had the opportunity to even say when MPP was running away from that promise that they never made that promise.
Which promise?
And 1 million per constituency. And I listened. I had it on my phone where Dr. Bawumia went to address a rally at the Bunkuru.
But what they explained
in 2016 and told the people that in 2017 they should expect an equivalent of 400 billion Ghana cedis as part of the 1 million per constituency.
Okay.
2018, then they shouted 400 billion. 2019, they shouted 400 billion. 2020, 400 billion. None of them, not one, has been done.
All right.
So some of those things were time bound.
I see.
And so if I hold you to your own time specification that you yourself gave, why would you tell us that we are being harsh? We are not.
All right. Now, let me get this also clarified from you. If the government does not reduce the price stabilization levy or scrap it all the same, what will you say? What will you do? What can you do?
I'm telling you that it's not what I sitting here can do, but what the good people of this country. Raymond, the people of Ghana did not vote for the MPP. Look, fine. If you say that at 14 cedis a gallon, Ghanaians were very angry with the NDC and decided to vote the NDC out. If you come and 14 cedis was too much and Ghanaians were angry, what should they do to you when you are put into 23? They should stop telling, they are making many people more angry when they seem to draw this percentage and say they did better than the NDC.
But we had this
conversation. It doesn't make sense.
It was to
the majority of the people who voted and killed in the stand for the MPP, on whose backs they rode to power, expected them to do better.
So you're saying
expected that the situation that they came to meet should be made better. Don't worsen the situation and come and say that the situation is worse under me, but I am better than somebody.
I would hope you listen to this question. For you, it is possible that we can do a comparison between NDC and MPP on actual values, but it's not possible that we do it on the rate of depreciation. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying that the bottom line, Raymond, that is why I told you the sweetness of a pudding is not the aroma in the midst. It's in the actual eating.
You have the opinion
the good people of this country.
The rate is actually the aroma.
Importance of any policy or program.
Yeah.
Is as far as it inures to their benefit, as far as it works on their collective well-being and progress. To the extent that it doesn't, it is useless. You can bring all the percentages and say you are 100 times better than somebody. It doesn't answer the material needs of the good people of this country. The good people of this country voted for the MPP amidst the lofty promises that made, amidst the claim it made that it was going to make Ghana flow of milk and honey, a situation that would be better than what the NDC left. So if you come today, and even today, people are now clamoring even for the days of the NDC, it tells you that you are an abysmal failure.
That's what they say. People are asking for the NDC.
Go to the ground.
Why?
And listen.
Why?
You know that the MPP is panicking today because they hear, for instance, that President Mahama is seeking to come back as the flag bearer of the NDC.
We'll talk about John Mahama.
Real state of panic.
Okay, now I
real panic. So you know that they are even getting their pseudo people to go to court.
Okay, so
even including some MPP MPs to go and challenge that President Mahama is not even eligible to come back.
Point. I just want to explore with you. So the NDC in Parliament is not going to, in of itself, go on demonstrations. You are not going to do anything beyond the press conference to demand and insist that this government.
Raymond, let me tell you that we are expected, Parliament is expected to be reconvened for an emergency summit on Monday.
Monday, yeah.
Sitting. I can tell you without any iota of hesitation that every little opportunity we get, this matter is going to come up.
In Parliament?
Every little opportunity we get, if it is possible within the framework of this recall, to make such a call, we as a minority are going to do it.
In Parliament?
On the floor.
That's all?
On the floor. And demand.
That.
And I can tell you that when Parliament resumes fully, we are going to bring the Minister for Energy to come before the House. We are going to demand the Minister for Energy come before the House and see if the issues of the taxation we are saying cannot be reduced will be taken up by Parliament.
Really?
Yes. We are going to make the call as representatives of the good people. We are representing the people, and when the plight of the people is at stake, as it is seriously now, where the very existence of our people is threatened by this extortionate level of taxation.
Existence?
Yes.
That's outrageous.
I'm telling you it's not, Raymond.
I mean,
do you know that, Raymond, some people today cannot get one meal to eat?
Some people in 1996, and actually was half of the population of this republic.
Yes.
In 2006,
yes.
that was virtually reduced by half.
Yes.
There were still millions of Ghanaians who could not get food to eat.
But I can tell you that
be clear.
Many more Ghanaians today than they were under the last NDC government.
That's not true.
Are down the throats of poverty, deprivation, and suffering.
What's your basis for this claim?
I will challenge you.
Let
me give you one of the bases.
Yes.
Raymond, they say when the snake is lying before you, don't go and hire a consultant. You kill it. Go and take trotro. Sit in the trotro. Listen to Ghanaians.
You remember Parliament.
Your
determination of rate of increase in poverty is what is said by some people in church.
Raymond, there have been times when I have sat in trotro to listen to the concerns of people. Just to sit down and listen to what people say.
That's not my argument. My argument is that you have not given me any statistical proof to support this claim that there are more people into poverty today. Indeed, the statistical service that we made reference to is saying that we have reduced, and we consistently are reducing the number of people getting into poverty.
You that there's no better statistic than relating to the everyday realities of the people directly with the people.
Yes, that may be.
So let me tell you, without any item of
that may be in Accra and perhaps in your hometown.
Not just in Accra.
Not in all parts of the country. You can't do just justification.
I have seen even places where facilities have deteriorated. Where, for instance, NDC has built chiefs compounds and clinics. They have been left unattended to. You just saw a footage that was aired recently of people carrying people across streams. Okay, when they said a health facility has been built in that area, that the government has refused to open.
All right, you talk about.
I'm just giving you.
I get your point.
I'm giving you. So
I think we should move on beyond this point.
We're going to talk about it. You are far more suffering today than you have ever had before. Even some of the supporters of the NPP, they accept. That's unprecedented level of suffering. I'm struggling
to get a criteria for determining this. Forgive me.
No, don't. It's very real.
Yes, because what I tell me is that you're speaking to people. I agree. Some people may complain to you, but you're a member of Parliament.
Not just
you cannot just say that
Raymond,
a few people complain to you.
Raymond,
so there's massive spread of this problem.
Not even a few people complain to me. Raymond, you hear it on an everyday basis across the media networks, including your own medium.
I get your point.
Including your own medium.
Okay.
It is not just me sitting here and saying Ghanaians are suffering. Raymond, I'm telling you to do an opinion survey.
Okay.
And ask Ghanaians, are they suffering today? Okay. More than before. I am telling you, you'll be inundated by more than 90% of Ghanaians who will tell you,
I want to state on record that the Statistical Service Ghana Living Standard Survey, which has been for a very long time, how we determine poverty in this country, over the period has shown improvements.
Let them do one as recent as this time.
The last one was 2017.
And you'll be shocked.
The last one was 2017.
You'll be shocked. I am telling you, you'll be shocked about the level of deprivation, suffering, and misery in this country today.
Parliament has been recalled on both Ameri and what's the other deal, RTI. Are you going to pass it?
You see, even the Ameri raises substantial questions. Raymond, I am astonished about the conduct of this government.
Have you seen the new Ameri arrangement?
I'm coming.
Have you seen it?
It's yet to be laid before
Parliament. So how do you talk about?
Yeah, I'm saying that I'm just giving you examples of what has transpired before.
Oh, so but we know what has happened before.
This is a government which said that it was unaware. It has graduated from being unaware to being misled. Okay, President Nanado said that at least gleaning from the dismissal of the former energy minister, it was because of this Ameri deal.
Okay. I want to move on. So
yes.
I go to pass.
And I'm saying that
the RTI.
I'm saying that one of the things this government should have had the humility to do was to have apologized to the good people of this country. Come back to Parliament.
You consider it.
Come back to Parliament because it was brought. You know that deal was brought to Parliament.
Yeah.
It has not been withdrawn.
Okay.
So the government, after the apology, should have come to withdraw the formally. It has not formally been done. If it has done, they have been done through the back door. There is a process in Parliament for withdrawing.
I'm confused. Are you saying that's not been withdrawn?
It has not been withdrawn.
Or it has been done through the back door?
I'm saying that I am not aware as a member of Parliament. I am not aware that it has been. I have not.
Have you spoken to
I have religiously attended almost every parliamentary sitting.
Have you spoken to the Energy Committee?
I'm telling you, our members on the Energy Committee are not aware that it has been withdrawn.
Withdrawn.
Yet they are not aware.
So what will you demand of the engagement on Ameri coming the following week?
So we have to be, first and foremost, like I said, they should render an unqualified apology to the good people of this country. Because like we are not all made today, it was vitiated by fraud. One of the reasons why it had to take the dismissal of the decision was that you know that the issue that came out was that the minister was prevailed upon to resign. He refused and he was fired.
Sorry. There's nowhere it was written that this was vitiated by fraud. There is nowhere.
Raymond,
specifically.
Let me look at the atrocious
charge increases.
Atrocious increase in that.
And how is that fraudulent anyway?
What was the motivation?
But you see, there's a standard for determining what is fraud.
Can you tell me what was the motivation?
Sorry, I'm saying that
If you can revise a deal from just about 610 to 1.3 billion and stretch it for 15 years. What else? If it works like a duck, it must be a duck.
I want to find out, LTI, will you pass it?
Indeed, it
the
is.
right to information bill.
It's
the
something,
one that the
it's something
NDC
that
failed to pass in times past.
Yes, I find that regrettable that we could not pass it during our tenure.
Will you pass it now?
Let me say without any item of hesitation that I, on the communication committee, together with our members on the court, have been very, very, very hard at pushing to make sure that this particular sitting that is coming, we must move to get it passed.
Will the minority support its passage?
100%. Indeed, that's why I'm saying that at that time, the minority then did not support the passage. That is one of the why they put stumbling blocks in the way of the passage of the RTI.
Oh, so now the minority was that strong that it could prevent government from...
I'm not saying that they prevented government. I am not by any stretch of imagination trying to absolve ourselves from the inability to pass it. And accept full responsibility.
Okay.
We had the numbers. We had the political will even at the level of the executive. I can tell you at that level that the executive even pushed for the passage. But somehow, along the line, certain things in parliament prevented us from passing it. And I will not sit here and not accept responsibility. We must, as a government, accept responsibility for our inability to not pass that regulation. It is a very important piece of legislation.
There are calls on John Dramani Mahama not to contest the NDC's primaries. They said that he's already done with this deal. He should leave when the applause is actually loudest. These calls are coming from senior members of your party.
Raymond, do you know that when President Mahama finally indicated his intention to contest for the flag bearership, there was euphoria across the country. Not just in the ranks of even NDC people.
Really?
Euphoria.
But that's different from winning an election.
So
he lost by a huge margin the last one.
Don't worry. There are many things which accounted for a reason. And I can tell you those things will not happen again.
Which ones are they?
Oh, including some laxity in the policing of the pools. I can tell you many things happened. We in the NDC.
Corruption?
We've learned a lot of that. I can tell you.
Corruption?
Raymond,
incompetence.
I am not going to sit here and discuss because like I told you.
Mismanagement?
We have our own fair share of issues that came up in the monitoring and the policing of the pools. Many things happened. But I can tell you that none of those things will be allowed to happen again.
The poll was stolen.
And I can tell you without any iota of hesitation that the NDC in 2020 will be so vigilant that by the grace of Almighty Allah, by the close of the polls on the first day, will be on the threshold of getting a clear idea of declaring.
So you're saying that the NDC could not police the polls properly?
I'm just telling you that
the NDC has never raised this matter before, and I'm shocked that you're raising it now.
I'm saying that we made mistakes about how the polls were conducted, our monitoring of the polls, our declaration of many things did not go the way we expected. But I can tell you, without any iota of hesitation, that
are you saying that this polls did not reflect the will of the people? Sorry, let me get this clear, because it's an important matter.
I'm giving.
Sorry, let me ask you. Are you saying that what we witnessed in 2016 did not reflect the will of the people?
I have not said that. I'm just saying. I'm just talking about the contributory factors.
Okay.
One of the things, like we just discussed, we discussed that earlier, that the MPP hoodwink the good people of this country.
Sorry.
With a plethora of empty promises.
I'm done.
Like they have done here. They will give us one village, one dam. They will give us one constituency, 1 million a year. They are going to decrease fuel prices. Fuel prices, which was 14 cedis, they will bring it down. The dollar, which was depreciating at that time, they are going to bring the dollar so stable that it will even begin to appreciate. All those things have failed palpably.
Thank you so much.
And so the good people of this country are now nostalgic about what good things happened under President Mahama.
The Honorable A.B.A. Fuseni speaks for the minority in Ghana's parliament. They are demanding reduction in taxes on fuel. Folks, that's where we end up from today.